What's up, YouTube? Freq-Out Radio back with another video. I'm Will. That's Crazy Bella. Whack job. We're at our spot. So I just found this out today. I normally walk right across here, park there, pulling off the main highway over there. And when the tide's up, I just don't come this way. But I found a path that walks all the way around, comes up. So just a nice little perk of the day, because I wouldn't be over here normally when the tide's up. We got a substantial amount of rain, guys. That nor'eastern just tore through here. Nothing crazy in regards to winds, just a lot of flooding, which is a problem here at the Jersey Shore. Ever since Sandy, that was that really exploited our drain systems and how they're all set up. But yeah, on a positive note, today I brought with me. So here's what happened. So I contacted Joe, N9TAX, and because I was having issues with the SWR of that N9TAXLABS MURS GMRS tuned Slim Jim. And what it was, I did all these tests. I couldn't for the life of me figure it out. I had it hanging off the ceiling, no metal, obviously. I had a zip tie in between. Then I made a PVC, like a holding contraption that held it, suspended it in the air with a little, probably about 3 or 4 inches on each side of the PVC. So think of like a big square C, and then I had it in between. But that didn't do too well, and I saw a lot of people it did. But they were up pretty high, so I think at some point, height is might, obviously. So I think at some point that just supersedes everything else in regards to something minuscule, like small, like that. Obviously. Low SWR or high SWR for like 3.5, you can pretty much erase that or minimalize that by putting the antenna higher, obviously. So today I got the BFF8HP Pro, the RA89 Retevis, the classic UV-5G Plus, and the Radtel, one of my favorites, RT730. That thing does about 12 watts on VHF and about 9 on UHF. So antennas on RT730 got the Nagoya 701G. On the UV-5G Plus have the Hytera stock. I think it's 4.5 inch Hytera stock. On the RA89 I have another Nagoya 701G. And on the BFF8HP Pro, I have the Smiley 5/8 GMRS tuned antenna. So we're gonna test these out. So that's back to what I was saying. I contacted Joe, and I did all these tests and whatnot, and I couldn't for the life of me figure out what was wrong. While I was getting reverse wattage down the antenna, a decent amount too, like 2.8 watts reverse, and then off of 8.5 going out, and then my SWR was like 3.5, 3.6. I couldn't figure it out. So I reset my nano VNA. I recalibrated it. I got a fresh start just in case that was it. I shouldn't have did that and switched out so come to find out, long story short, it was my jumper cable I was using. Piece of crap, man. So I took that off, and boom, SWR went to 1.1 over 1. So yeah, what a difference. So I emailed him back and I apologized. I wasn't mean or anything. I was just saying, hey, what's going on? You have any pointers? Because me and him were in correspondence for like the past couple of days. I was just asking him questions, letting them know I was a YouTuber. I was gonna snatch the antenna for review, and before I did that, I want, out of respect, I like to give these guys, companies, a chance. If they send me something and you know, they may have let one slip by and didn't tune it correctly or whatever the case may be. But they did. It was a user error, which I got no problem admitting. And I'll probably have a lot more. But thank you, Joe, if you're watching. Great product. And I got it hooked up now correctly, and we're going to test it out right now. So without further ado, the classic BFF8HP Pro with the Smiley 5/8. I would have to say, popularity wise, this setup right here, even with the BNC connectors, gotta be everyone's goal. It's not expensive. You can get everything all said and done out the door for around $100. BNC connector. You can even go as far to getting a 3800 milliamp battery extender. Then you would essentially be done with this. But yeah, the Smiley 5, it goes for about $27. The only thing I hate about Smiley, especially on Amazon, is that $7 shipping, which is insane for an antenna when you could just pack it in an envelope, bubble and envelope. But whatever. So $27 for the antenna, $69 for the HT. I got it on sale. This is my second one. I just bought this one this past week. I would like to get in cahoots with Baofeng, because this is they're turning into one of my favorite HTs, because I guess nostalgia never got to me, meaning I'm not old enough or been in the hobby long enough to where I look at an old Radio Shack HT and be like, man, that's beautiful. Not to take anything from it, very well may be, and you know, an absolute staple to the industry and the hobby, but and enthusiasts, probably very appealing. But me, I've only such a short time. I just process the knowledge that I'm learning, and in the past 6 months, Baofeng has got to be the best bang for your buck HT, to the point where I don't even know how they make money. It baffles me how the turnover on these HTs got to be something minimal, like $5 a piece. Here comes the nut. Right through. She loves it out here. Yesterday, speaking of the rain, it was pouring. I took her out for a little range test. She absolutely loved every second of it. She's already been in the water. She's a nut. And it's not that warm out. So, for $100, you've been in the hobby for a minute and you want to treat yourself to a decent HT driver every day with a good antenna, I would absolutely do this setup for sure. Testing, low power BFF8HP Pro Smiley 5/8. Okay, well, actually, I wouldn't, no, I'm kidding. I still do recommend it, even though it failed me. Testing, 1, 2, 3, BFF8HP Pro, low power Smiley 5/8.
Testing, 1, 2, 3, BFF8HP Pro, low power Smiley 5/8.
Not bad. Bell, get over here. All right, so that is IP54 rated. You can throw that on the ground. One of my favorites, the RT730. They claim it's waterproof. I'm not buying it. I just don't see a lot of maybe. I mean, if you dropped it in for 5 seconds and pulled it right out and threw it right into some rice, maybe. I don't know. These things do seem pretty. The one guy he froze a Rocky Talkie, a UV-5R, and a Motorola T470, I believe, or 75, one of those. Froze them in his warehouse, let them defrost, and all of them actually work. So even the UV-5R, I think if you, like the cell phone tactic, if you drop it in there and you take it apart and let it fully dry out, I think they'll eventually work. But RT730, low power, Nagoya 701G.
Low power, Nagoya 701G.
So you see why this is one of my favorites. So HTs and antennas are somewhat like a marriage, and I'm finding that to be very true, especially in regards to when you're mixing and matching HTs and antennas. You know, like Forrest Gump said, you never know what you're going to get. That is very true. So you can put a stock, like those 2-watt BF888s, those little church security cheapy radios that are very good. I threw a stock, I think it was the TID Radio TDH3 stock antenna, which are crappy for that unit, but I threw that on those BF888s, and man, those things hum on 2 watts. So you know what is crappy stock antenna for 1 HT might be a great upgrade for like a cheapie, like those BF888s. Essentially. So we'll get to the classic UV-5G Plus. UV-5G Plus low power Hytera 4.5 inch antenna stock. No luck. UV-5G Plus Hytera stock antenna low power. Alright, so it activated it. Bella, get over here. Hey! Look at her. She's such a wacko. Stop. Stay by me, man, you wacko. UV-5G Plus Hytera stock antenna low power. Okay, I mean, it got better as it went on, but not really a fully readable retransmission. Okay, a very good HT that I'm starting to really, you know, I'm starting to leave like my toothbrush at its house and some clothes because I'm really starting to like her. Testing, RA89 Nagoya 701G low power. And the thing with this, I love this. Program that. Testing, noise cancellation, RA89.
Testing, noise cancellation, RA89.
Let me get one better than that. Hold on. Testing, noise cancellation, RA89, low power.
Testing, noise cancellation.
It had it. You can hear that, right? Pretty weird how they do that. It's pretty weird how sometimes it works and doesn't. But testing, 1, 2, 3 testing.
1, 2, 3.
Pretty weird. All right, so I don't know. Clear winner out of that, I would have to say, would be the Radtel RT730, then the BFF8HP Pro, then the Retevis RA89, and then in last place, all down there lonely, which very well could be the antenna. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna switch all the antennas around and I'll be right back. Back on the scene, crispy and clean. You guys don't know nothing about that song. All right, so I switched out on the UV-5G Plus. I put the Nagoya 701G. I forgot that the Retevis RA89 was SMA male, not female. So I can't switch any of those onto that. I got to learn to bring a BNC adapter with me at all times. I should just have all that stuff in my trunk anyway. You a YouTuber? Yeah. Where's your, you got a BNC connector on you? That's like asking a smoker if they got a light and they're like, nah. What are you gonna rub 2 sticks? All right, so yeah, I gotta get my game up. So, UV-5G Plus Nagoya 701G low power. Now let me repeat that. UV-5G Plus Nagoya 701G low power.
5G plus Nagoya 701G low power.
All right, So that one was actually pretty good. Let's do that again. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1, 2, 3.
Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3.
Okay, so very well may be that Hytera stock antenna is not all that it claims to be with that HT, but this thing usually hums on the RT730, which is why I bought 2 4-packs. That little stubby barrel one I got too, that Airton. I bought another 4-pack of those. They're just good to have, you know. You're in close proximity, everyone's camping. Take off those big bulky ass antennas and throw in those little stubbies, and they're pretty good. They're pretty resonant on the GMRS frequencies range. Testing, RT730 low power stock Hytera antenna.
RT730 low power stock Hytera antenna.
See what I mean? Now, Belle, hey, stay. She's such a really good guard dog. I'm not even kidding. Like, look at her. She is just guarding me with her life right now. She doesn't care what I'm doing, but she just guards me. Like when me and my girl Kelly went camping at Never Sink River Resorts, we were on the porch just hanging out the whole time, and she sat like that facing out off the porch the whole trip, 2 days. Just, especially when we were together. She's such a guard dog. Belle, over here. BFF8HP Pro, low power, Smiley 5/8.
BFF8HP Pro, low power, Smiley 5/8.
All right, I think that, you know, obviously that is the way to go here. Let's try the, can't switch anything on this one, which sucks, but testing RA89 low power Nagoya 701G.
Testing RA89 low power Nagoya 701G.
Now, with that noise canceling setting, that by far is the best transmission I've gotten. It just, when that setting works the way it's supposed to, it beats out all these, because it mutes out any type of noise in the background. It isolates your voice and blocks out everything, which is a great feature. I just wish that it worked every time. You know, if you go dependability wise, it's a great feature, but it's just not always there for you, unfortunately. Testing 1, 2, 3 noise canceling setting.
Testing.
You see? So let me do this. Let me bump it up. Where's my, oh. What's going on here? Okay. It literally froze on me somehow. I don't know how, but let me try this. All right, so that's on high. So let me put it on medium. Let me see if it just needs more power to retain it. Like, maybe that is the issue. Testing medium power RA89 noise cancellation settings.
Testing medium power RA89 noise cancellation.
Yeah, so that is a lot better. I guess that would be the case there. Okay, so that was a good test. I'm happy I got that N9TAX antenna up correctly now. It's just going to add to my range test availability in regards to, you know, having a decent antenna at the home front in my apartment, up automatically 25 feet off the ground, because we're about 15, and then add the subfloor, probably another foot, half, then you're at the top, so probably about 20 feet total naturally, because I'm on the second floor. But yeah, so I'm happy with those results, and now I got that at the house. So that place I went to the other night, that really dark location that I was doing the range test from, that's my new that's on the other side of Brick. So that is my new location. it's great to find another location, because then you set shop up there and then you figure out your footprint. That's what I'm doing here, guys, is I'm basically setting up my footprint around my city, so I know where I can reach. You know, shit goes south, I know where and what weather conditions. You know, that's why I come out in the rain, inclement weather with clouds and scattered clouds, and I even go out in the rain. I don't care, just to see what the difference is with weather in regards to the transmissions and receiving. So with that being said, I'm gonna wrap it up, guys. Thanks for joining me on this video. For those of you that are new, please like, subscribe if this is the content you like. This is pretty much all I do. You know, I'll sit down and do a quick review on something, but I'm not the guy that's gonna, you know, take apart the HT and tell you why that certain chip is. I'm not doing all that. Look at it right in the water. So yeah, I'm not gonna do all that and dissect the HTs. They have you know, prints you can look up to get all the specs and all that stuff. I like to have fun with the hobby, and I'm out here doing range testing. And look, the Loch Ness Monster. There it is. Unbelievable. There it is, folks. In. Holy. Ah! No, but that looks like it. Holy smokes. That's funny. Yep. You've seen it here first, the Loch Ness Monster. But with that being said, guys, look at her. She's looking. She's got something in her sights. Get that duck. Now leave it alone. All right, guys. 7.3s for now. I'll catch you on the next video. And always remember, guys, height is might. 7.3s.